Ghana is predominantly known as the world's second cocoa producer, but we are ranked the third smallest coffee producer in sub-Saharan Africa, behind Liberia and Central African Republic. That's quite a shame. We just produce about 600 tons per year of coffee. Ghana is unable to compete with the likes of Brazil because our land is just about 400 meters above sea level. For coffee to be grown, or for the best coffee to be grown in an environment, then the land has to be about 1,200 meters above sea level. Because of that, Ghana is unable to grow the likes of Arabica. We resort to planting Robusta. We are in the eastern region, Koit to be precise, at Bimpong, where we meet the general manager of one of the largest coffee farm or coffee plantation in Ghana, Mr. Seidu Asamoah. Welcome, Mr. Seidu Asamoah. Good morning.
Fine morning.
How would you say the Robusta is faring in Ghana?
Actually, as I can see, Robusta is one of the recommended coffee seedlings which was introduced by Cocoa Board around 1978.
Okay.
And so normally majority of our farms were planting Robusta varieties.
2008, there was this coffee rehabilitation program. Did you hear about it?
Yeah, 2008 we heard about it.
Did you benefit from that program? Because there was about 4.2 million allocated to coffee producers.
Actually, we benefit around 2011.
Okay.
Whereby for 2008 the farm was left abandoned. There was nobody taking care of the land.
This particular farm. Why was it left?
Because of redeployment exercise which took place in 1992.
Okay.
The farm was left abandoned. And so later one Spanish man called Mr. Potera Fernando.
Okay.
He came and took over.
Okay.
And later on, he too left the country around 2008, and so nobody was taking care of the farm. Around 2010, before Dr. Boati came and took over up to date.
Okay, so you said you benefited in 2011 from the program. How did you benefit? How much was allocated?
Yeah, actually, Cocoa Board helped us in encompassing some of the farm.
Okay.
As I've already told you, the farm is overgrown. And so by there, they give us fertilizer and then help us with some more for the brushing of that side. So
Mahama in 2016 also mentioned that by 2021, Ghana should be able to produce about 100,000 tons of coffee. Do you think that is achievable? Do you think that is really possible?
For that,
because we are already in 2021.
we are already in 2021.
Yes.
But it was only 2018. Because of the planting of exports in the rural development, course have this assembled by then, now municipal assemble. They nurtured the seedlings to the farmers, supplied to the farmers about 420,000 coffee seedlings, which was nursed and distributed to farmers. And that's at now. The farmers I know they have planted them. And so we are expecting from 2023 or something like that, well, we will get something. But 2021, no, I don't think.
You don't think? Dried coffee, right? Ready for harvesting. A few that you were not able to harvest. So how do you do it? What process do you go through?
More who said the coffee here or high. So what here? You have to strip it to better 10 about.
Okay.
With Samoa, normally no, a damage the nurse
okay.
Into years what by and son or better no so no. Normally no. I just saw the I and to my be a form. I didn't manage a form more. By then no. Nephew what a good. And so no as a no dear good can tell and so no dear good to come there but drying place. Nti so anya ne sa wuntumi ente. Na ye wo challenges bebre e won nti ye no. Normally ye wo mo abi e wo so. Te se enhohoa. Ye wo emua nketua bi so ye frɛ eminaboa.
Okay.
And ye wo nketua bi eso so ye frɛ ne emmene. Very dangerous. Well, me name said the freno in the English, but so in the botanical name friend Acclimatogasca involiensis. Someone had make a sepa. Oh, yeah, dirty idea anymore. Acclimatogasca involiensis.
Okay.
It's under freno.
Okay.
Oh, na Greek.
Yeah, the botanical.
The botanica. Now, normally, no, so when you a draw on a high. Until you need here insecticide.
Okay.
To spray them. A morning, you know, a human also echo harame. Without that, no, you find difficulties. Or was a human.
And then, Nemo, how? What is preventing Ghana from expanding or exploring this whole plantation?
You said it, you who say, sending baby who are said a plantation at here. And acquire you hear the help of the government. A sense of coffee who are a yedding. And also, when you compare the coffee price and the cocoa prices, they are not the same. Cocoa price can be higher than the coffee the prices. It's an internet. Yeah, neko for ni here more. Especially to say before plantation, I say here more kese. A day, she say ado a huasem. Ye here we decide. Tell myself so a higher a year and kanka. Almost a higher. I need a case here. Help from the government. That's how the way you have been reporting there. You have report to Amma Cocoa Board. I came to work for. I said, tell me, I say, hi, my chemicals. But that's at now, no. Be anti me and my name formerly, no. Nanka Cocoa Board, a boy, it me around 2016 more, and no, me my fertilizers. Now, more some boy, a year I don't know by a copy. What
is your range of customers? Coffee mom.
Also, now, near Tom, the individuals be a woman so a check coffee.
Okay.
At the year, the processing of the woman at the year. Into your customers be a woman about better request.
Into money, maybe companies.
The new company be about better. And into Kurana, here say a passy as you in your board. Cocoa, what you win some of the cocoa shed. Government is going to buy. But coffee, government don't buy them. I say, yeah, talk coffee be every day. Individuals, about price be up and no amount. No at all.
See, a bags are in a good a dynamo.
Oh, that's at now, dear. See, number of bucks I was a see our dynamo, dear, or best 70 bucks. And a dynamo.
If I say a calculation bill, so 70 bucks, no more 350. No more any pattern. Mobile chest can say.
I no problem, no. As at now, no any problem. Because our farm now, I can't have some. And acreage about 1,190 acres. But only few of the area been yet me. The Akenyina at the Uram because of labor.
So I see that you've dried some coffee here. There's a mat here. So this is what the on-hold one.
This on-hold coffee.
How long do you dry it?
It depends upon the sun.
Okay.
In the rainy season, if it is raining, it takes a long time. But in case of if the sun is too hot or something like that, it can take about say 3 weeks, 3 to a day.
Which month do you usually dry this?
Normally, we used to start harvesting around October, November, and then December.
Okay.
And so during all those times is the drying time.
Okay.
Immediately you harvest it, you have to bring it on the drying mat and then start drying it. And it will depend upon because of the how the weather is, the drying before it dries.
I'm trying so hard to break this thing to try to unhold it, but how do you manage to take off the husk or get the seed out of this?
To take off the husk, we have got hulling machine.
Okay.
Which we use to hold them. You cannot use your hand to hold them. That's what we do.
Okay, but do you have the hulling machine? I hear your hulling machine is not functioning now.
Yeah, actually we have got one, but it's not functioning now.
Where is it?
It's a certain place, very far place from here.
And can you Jumanka process on the same?
And say a year Juma. The process is say Ospake machine. Coffee no. Yeah, the good. Bra udi gu mu no na machine eye adwuma na operate nti de ebeso ho no ebefa ha efa we mu be gu box mu na ne husk no eso efa de pipe ya fix ekodo ho na epie ekodo ho outside the sauce no de ne husk ni nyina kwa outside na de ebeso ho no nti sa atam na obi su gina ho operate ya de Esano no was a big no as a segum into a year and the Asamoah, a back of boxing. As a segway, but machine, I say
8 years.
8 years to
Wait, Uncle Jumaka, how many bags can this unhusk, like unhull?
Oh, a year Jumapa. That could be a bit me as a baby more than 50 bucks.
50 bags.
50 bucks.
And as your bags are here, more.
Normally, no, formally, a year Jumano need to meet coffee burubes more than 300 bucks.
Okay.
But as at now, no dear. Because of the COVID-19, the account 2020, and I said the anti-me and your Juma. I'm not this year production. Uncle. Yeah, near best 100 bucks. So, roughly, sanity.
But when Pusanka a age, Maka, and young Hibiana a bit and content him, right? And come more a bigger machine now.
Normally, no. And one say Rome was not built in a day.
Okay.
Until gradually, no, how
many coffee production started 1978. Ghana, we are behind with this. Enabe Ponto is one of the largest coffee plantation in Ghana, and this is the only hulling machine
actually
you have.
Actually, this is the only hulling machine,
which has been spoiled.
Enough farmers who also producing coffee at Ntomimo and then some villages there.
So there's no other hulling machine
in the whole area.
It's quite sad that coffee worldwide comes second to crude, and it's a very lucrative venture. But in Ghana, we don't even have a hulling machine in one of the biggest plantations that we have. It will be very lucrative if governments could turn an eye to the coffee industry and help out financially and provide enough mechanisms or machinery to boost the whole coffee sector. My name is Emma Davis. Up next will be the processing site where coffee is processed during various stages, and where we transform coffee from the hulled to the powder, and we use for our daily, cup of coffee to keep us awake. Thank you, Mr. Seydou Ansumana, for your time. It's still the food chain. If you're just joining, you just missed Seydou Ansumana, who is the farm manager of one of the biggest coffee plantation in Ghana. We are here coming to speak to Ivy Ware, the CEO of Cafe Magnifico, which produces coffee or processes coffee on a small scale. Ivy, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Take us through the stages in roasting.
Yeah.
What do you do? How do you select your beans? What are the differences?
And so when I go to the village, I look at the moisture content of the bean. Because if the moisture content is low.
How do you measure the moisture content?
We actually calculate the weight of the bean, because when I'm going to the village, I take an electronic scale with me, a volume cylinder, and then a weighing scale. I'm always having those three things. So you calculate the weight, you take just a sample size, and then calculate the weigh it, and then calculate the volume. So you do weight over the volume, will give you the moisture content. And the perfect moisture content is 0.7 to work with. That would allow you give it the right amount of heat to be able to get the beans to come out properly.
So when you get your bean here,
so when I get my bean here, I do picking again. Depending on if I wasn't satisfied with what they've done in the village, because sometimes because you have to rush back here and then you have orders here or stuff to do here. If I'm not satisfied with what they've done and I come back, I have to pick the bean before the day's roast. The problem with my farmers is that the bean that they give me, I'm not satisfied with it.
Why is that?
Because of we're not having variety. We should have variety to play with, like the wet processing, the honey processing. You know, we're all doing natural, and natural is just like.
Well, there are some challenges your sector faces. So.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
But then, if government could come into play and then we get the support that we need, I'm sure we should be able to upgrade the quality of our green bean, and then we should be able to compete in the international market.
So, with the roasting, can you go into details for us? What are the requirements? Earlier, you were telling me about the
moisture,
the different shades.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the different flavors that we have. We do the light roast, the medium roast, and then the dark roast. Okay. And why I do the different flavors is because I want to be able to. This our sector actually. We generating the market for ourselves. Okay. Because there's a lot of education that has to go on before you convince the customer. And when the customer tries the product, then the customer then falls in love with the product. Because it's a craftsman's coffee, it's about the taste. Okay. It's about how the customer feels. Then you get the customer to retain and keep back purchasing your product. But if you do not get that accomplished, you lose the customer. So we created the 3 flavors so that we can satisfy every class of customers. At least I have a bit of knowledge of the way my people are. So I always want them, and I want them to also look into healthy lifestyles and drink gourmet coffee every time. So I try to create flavors that would blend for everybody.
So after roasting, what next?
Yes, after roasting, we we roast and then we grind. We're using this machine, this dip. Okay. So usually we patch the machine before we grind, just to take out the last roast flavor out, so that we don't mix the flavors. So we just take a bit of the bean.
This is the main.
Yeah, this is the main. So we grind here, we package here, then we seal with this sealer.
So are you able to measure how much, coffee you put in here?
With the grinding, you don't have to measure, but when we are packaging, we use cups. Okay. Some measuring spoons that have cups labels on it, so we know how many scoops of that cup has to go into this pouch. Because we have the 240-gram pouches, and then the 1 kg.
So how much is this?
This is 30 cedis. Okay. And then the beans is 50 cedis. Okay. And these bean bags can be done, can take granules. Okay. So you can have this grounded powder here. Okay. But that specifically is by order. So we have an online shop, we have a website, you can order, and then we deliver.
3 years into the coffee industry, would you say this sector is lucrative?
No, I won't say it's lucrative now, because like I said, no one set the ropes for us that are in the sector to play. Like for instance, we also have the Coffee Roasters Association of Ghana, which we are a member of 8 roasters. It's 8 or more, and we all are learning the industry. So we all are investing, losing money, gaining money here, then fine-tuning our researchers, and then, correcting our mistakes here and there. Sometimes when we started, when we send money to the villagers to give us coffee, our money don't come back again, the coffee too no come, but I'll go drown. So we did, all that was part of the processing, and life is about process. It's a process. You get to just trust it and then work with it. Yeah, but there's prospects for the industry.
You believe so?
I believe so. I also think so that it's about time the government pool all its resources and support the key industry players. So if the government would come to our aid and then support us with certain things and leverages that we need financially and marketing wise and bridging the market gaps, I think we'll do fine.
You were mentioning some challenges earlier about packaging.
Yeah.
You have to go to China to make the order and everything.
Yes, my packaging, I have a very good designer.
Okay.
Trust me, like I said, my age group, we're working, we're not playing. We're not lazy youth though. Yeah. We're working. I'm very
but I'm sure good. The old folks will beg to differ.
I know, right? I know, right? Honestly. But then my design is done here.
Okay.
But the packaging is done in China. Why? Because I don't want to create a product that cannot compete tomorrow internationally. I want to create a product that has prospects to stand in international markets and compete.
Thank you, Ivy, for your time. This was fun. I learned a few things.
You're welcome, and thank you guys too for your visits.
You're welcome.
We're looking forward to your visits when we eventually grow out of this space into a bigger space soon, when the government starts supporting the industry.
If you just joined us, we just spoke with Ivy, who is the CEO of the Cafe Magnifico, where she processes raw coffee beans into powder. And we'll be speaking next with the Ghana Coffee Exporters Association, and they would also come up with their own challenges. Stay with us. Cecilia, can you tell us about the fate of exporting coffee in Ghana?
Thank you. If you want to export coffee, you need to collect license from Cocoa Board, as the directive laid down long ago. And one has to satisfy certain conditions, whereby you have the premises to prepare a coffee for export. If you don't have those things, you can't be allowed to do so. And when you have finished with the preparation, it involves a whole lot of, in the preparation you sort out the foreign materials in the coffee and the coffee teas, so that it becomes clean. It's either grade 1, grade 2 or grade 3. And then you bag it. The preparation is such that you involve a lot of women.
Why women?
They do the sorting.
Okay.
They know it.
Okay.
Sometimes about 100 or 200 at a time in a shed. So come and do the sorting. So when you have finished, you write to the quality control of Ghana Cocoa Board. They will come and then do the sealing. If it is not good, they won't sell it. It means it's not good to be sent to be shipped from the soil of Ghana. We don't want to damage our reputation over there. And when you reach the harbor, transport to the harbor, then the whole thing goes into the forwarding and carrying agents. And the FOB will come in. The fumigation exercise will also take place. The other bodies like quality control again over the Food and Drugs Board also come in to make sure that what is going on of the soil of this land is of that quality we are talking about, and it is shipped through the ship.
So coffee is the second biggest thing after crude oil.
Yes.
How come Ghana, and it doesn't require much with the processing, with the planting and everything. What is preventing Ghana from being able to produce enough to meet local demand and even export?
There are a whole lot of factors militating against that. But when we came into the coffee sector, it was boosting. It was really growing seriously very well.
And then that was when? In which year?
That was in the early 60s.
Wow. Okay.
And when the world price started falling,
Okay.
that became the problem. It also happened to cocoa. If you know how cocoa was also revamped during the time of some recent years ago. And now cocoa is now stable. That's what we should have done to coffee. Because the farmers were actively cultivating in every sector of where cocoa is growing. My own old man was cultivating coffee and then the cocoa together. And when you go to Côte d'Ivoire, the same thing. They are now harvesting a lot because they haven't abandoned this thing. We need the encouragement of the farmers. We need to see it again. We need to see the sector seriously well. It can help the country, actually.
Can you monetize how much Ghana is losing because you're not able to export coffee?
Assuming somebody has harvested one bag of coffee and he didn't get a buyer, because the buyers don't have the money to go and buy. What would be the meaning of it? Indication to the farmer. Do a whole lot of. Either he will not go to the farm again and allow the farm to grow bushes, become a forest or a secondary forest. So that is how it happens.
So can you give us a rough estimate about how much Ghana is losing already because we are not able to export anything?
It's losing. We started losing a lot. No doubt, because if we can produce 800,000 tons of cocoa, Ghana can produce over 500,000 to 600,000 tons of coffee at the same time.
Interesting.
Yes, at the same time. No, we shouldn't underrate the commodity.